you always wonder, like, hey, you try to brainstorm, like, who would the guy, and work out, you know, through your head who it might be. But honestly, I had no idea it was Dane. I would have probably overthought it. I would have thought like, oh, he likes this, or he, you know, I would have thought more about like the boards he rides all the time, or the boards that I see pictures of him riding or whatever. And usually you have so much information and you talk to a surfer and you know all this stuff about him to make them a good board. In this case, I would have made him probably a stubbier, weirder little board. Instead, I kind of made him something that was more like standard outline and more streamlined than I probably would have had I known it was him. I heard a story about the other board I made last year. Finally got to some people. No one ever rode it in the thing. It didn't get there in time, but apparently Dane rode it on another different trip. He tried it, and the guy was laughing because he said he hated the board. Dane couldn't stand it, and he gave it back. And ironically, my idea of the board this year was that same rocker basically as that board, because that was a real high performance rocker for good surf that's worked really well, like especially here in different places with juicy waves. And so I didn't try to make something entirely different than I did last year, except this was a hand-shaped board, which was a different kind of thing, which never is going to be the same as something else you do. But interestingly, he ended up liking that board apparently and hating the other one. So there's, you know, surfboards are really a mystery even to the guys making them, I think, sometimes. What I think is nice about knowing how to hand shape is that you just have a sort of a better understanding about building surfboards overall and about the curves, and you just learn that you can't learn by just designing on a computer, and you have a little deeper understanding about a surfboard. And so there's pluses to both sides, but as far as like running a business and giving people around the world, or even just here in Hawaii, consistent boards that like I know, hey, this is how it's going to work, then the machine is definitely superior. Pretty obvious, I like shaping John's boards a lot because it's just like getting to see that the level of surfing that he does. But like here in Hawaii, I have a bunch of guys, especially that are like Surfing Pipeline, a bunch of kids, like his crew of guys that I make boards for all the time, his brothers. That crew in itself is really fun for me. Like it's kind of the most inspiring little group because I see those guys a lot, I surf with them a lot, and then seeing them just get crazy on boards. I would say that as a group of guys, that's really special for me to be like a part of like this generation that's actually like pretty much ruling Pipeline right now. That really makes me feel good. It's like something I'm a little bit of a part of, and it's pretty special.